Hi friends, in this video we are going to discuss a sample answer for 2020 UPSC Civil Services Mains Examination. The question is based on GS paper 2, which contains the broad topics of Constitution, Polity, Governance and International Relations. Let me read out the question first, later we will discuss the answer. What do you understand by contempt of judiciary? In light of the recent cases taken up by the Supreme Court of India, do you think the judiciary is stifling the voice of concerned citizens in a democracy? Discuss. 150 words. So, basically you will have to write the answer for around 1.5 pages to 2 pages, assuming you are writing around 100 words in a single page. Before discussing the answer, I would like to give you some important guidelines for the IAS mains examination. If you are IAS aspirant, if you are getting the question paper, the answer sheet, please remember this basic thing. You are going to satisfy the requirement of UPSC. Whatever question UPSC is asking, just address the important issue or the core subject in the question. So basically you have to satisfy UPSC's requirement. One can be a very intellectual person, one can be an eminent person or an expert in a particular field, but in the IAS examination one should just satisfy UPSC's requirement. Just do that, you will definitely become a civil servant. So IAS mains examination is not a place to satisfy our ego or showcase our intelligence, knowledge or expertise. So please remember this first. The knowledge and the content is what matters. The decoration, underlining, all these are secondary. So please remember this. Now let's discuss the answer. First thing, we'll have to break the question. So breaking is nothing but understand the question first. Read it again and again. Understand the question first, then break the question and answer accordingly. What do you understand by contempt of judiciary? So this is the first part. So in the introduction of the answer, you have to write about the concept of contempt of judiciary. So write about this briefly. Next, the body of the answer. This is most important. Body of the answer carries maximum weightage. Marks would be awarded based on the content in the body of the answer. So here you will have to address the second part. You will have to analyze whether the judiciary is trying to oppress or suppress the freedom of speech of the citizens, the concerned citizens, through the tool of contempt of judiciary. So this is what you should analyze in the body of the answer. Thirdly, in the conclusion, give your own view or opinion. For 150 words question, give a shorter conclusion. For 250 words question, you can give a longer conclusion. So this is how you should structure the answer. Basically, the broad blueprint is introduction, body of the answer and conclusion. Within the body of the answer, you can divide the body into multiple paragraphs by giving subheadings. You need not specifically mention introduction, body and conclusion, right? Whatever you write at the start, it implies that it's an introduction. Now let's go into the answer. So introduction, we are going to discuss what contempt of judiciary is. Okay, what contempt of judiciary means. Contempt basically means disrespect. So here, disrespecting the institution of judiciary is called contempt of judiciary. As we all know, judiciary is an important pillar in a democracy, along with the other two pillars, executive and legislature. In India, the judiciary plays a very important role. It is kept specifically independent because the judiciary has to uphold the principles of our constitution. It has to keep a check on the other two pillars. It has to ensure whether the country is run based on the principles of the constitution. It is the ultimate interpreter of the constitution also. So it plays a very important role. That is why it is kept independent and the judiciary has to be respected. This is what you should understand. Now, contempt of judiciary or contempt of court can be broadly divided into two categories. The first is civil contempt. For example, if a person or an entity or an organization does not respect the order or guideline given by the judiciary, be it high courts or the Supreme Court, whatever it is. So basically judiciary. So if a person does not respect the order given by the judiciary, or if a person or entity does not fulfill the obligation or the guarantee given to the judiciary, then these type of cases come under civil contempt. Civil contempt is of a less serious nature. The second contempt is of a serious nature. This is called criminal contempt. If a person or entity expresses his or her views or her opinion in a manner that scandalizes or undermines the very institution of the judiciary, if somebody is speaking in a manner that insults the judiciary, then such cases come under criminal contempt of court. Some person, knowingly or unknowingly, they may express their views or thoughts in a manner that prejudices against the authority of the judiciary itself. Let me give you a simple example. I am giving my opinion against the Supreme Court of India. For example, I am saying Supreme Court is a very elite institution. These judges will never work for the poor people, common people. They will always speak in favor of the rich and the higher echelons of society. Their judgments will always be biased. They will always favor the powerful people. If I give a statement like this, definitely this is a criminal contempt of judiciary. This is what you should understand. So, you should write what contempt of judiciary means. You need not write whatever I have explained now. You cannot write everything there. So, understanding the concept, write in a crisp and concise manner at the start. Then, come to the body of the answer. This is most important. You will have to analyze whether contempt of judiciary, whether this tool is needed. So, you will have to analyze this. Of course, this tool is necessary because judiciary is a respectable institution. It is specifically kept independent because it is in charge of a very important duty. So definitely everybody should respect the judiciary. So no question in this. At the same time, another important question also arises. Should we not raise any opinion or any doubts against the judiciary? Now this is the very important question. The Supreme Court itself has remarked in the past that any person can put forward a fair criticism of the judiciary or the judgments or observations of the judiciary in a rational manner based on facts. So we can do this. So the judiciary is not barring us to put forward a fair criticism, justified criticism based on substantial, tangible facts. Let's say I am putting forward a criticism based on a recent judgment of the Supreme Court. Let's say a 5-judge bench of the Supreme Court has given a judgment based on a specific matter. I am giving my opinion. I am saying that this judgment is not right or appropriate, but I have to base my opinion or my view on solid facts. Only then I can give my opinion. Let's say I am giving my opinion saying that the judgment of the Supreme Court is biased. This is wrong. I should not give such a vague opinion that disrespects or undermines the institution of the judiciary. This is what you should understand. So we can always give a fair opinion, fair criticism. So the Supreme Court itself has remarked about this. In the 1995 ruling, the Supreme Court has specifically asked the advocates, the lawyers, to bring to the notice of the Supreme Court or the High Courts any misbehavior, misconduct or corruption of the judges. In case of corruption or nepotism or any other misconduct, it is the duty of the lawyers or the advocates to bring to the notice of the courts. So the Supreme Court specifically observed this. So the Supreme Court itself has taken this initiative to bring in transparency, accountability within the judiciary. This is what you should understand. Similarly, many retired judges, even retired Chief Justices of India, have made many remarks about the problems, discrepancies within the judiciary. They have spoken about the nepotism within judiciary, corruption within judiciary. So the judges themselves have spoken about these problems in the past. Some years ago, the government tried to bring in a bill called the Judicial Standards and Accountability Bill. This is basically to bring in transparency and accountability within the judiciary. In case a judgment of the judiciary is not right or inappropriate, then action has to be taken. Some sort of review has to be done. So basically we have to check the judiciary also. Even though the judiciary is important, even though it is an independent institution, the judiciary itself is not above the constitution. There has to be checks and balances also. This is what you should understand. The judiciary is not an end in itself. So there should not be a judicial overreach. So the judiciary should not be allowed to function at its own whims and fancies. This also should be checked. This is what you should analyze within the answer. So you should write analyzing both sides of the coin. Judiciary must be respected. At the same time, judiciary can also be criticized in a fair manner. No institution is above our constitution. So this is basically what you should analyze in the body of the answer. Like I said, you can give these examples as reference, but don't stuff all the judgments of the Supreme Court in the answer. Like I said, facts and figure will not be given importance. Your knowledge, your content, your analysis will carry the marks in the IAS mains examination. At the end, give your conclusion. Give a very simple conclusion. You can probably say the judiciary must be respected, no doubt. It performs a very important duty in our country, in a democracy. At the same time, the judiciary is not an end in itself. It should be open to fair criticism. So this is the broad blueprint for this answer. Whenever needed, wherever needed, you can give instances or examples as reference. Recently, a renowned advocate was pulled up by the Supreme Court under Contempt of Judiciary. He has he has expressed his views in a manner the judiciary felt that this is insulting the judiciary. So this case is a recent case in point. So you can give these instances as reference also. Once again, don't fill the answer with reference judgments and instances. So whenever needed, just give a reference. So you can just highlight it to tell the examiner that you have understood the question in its entirety. You have understood the question in a holistic knowledge. You are possessing the holistic knowledge. So please write in this manner. So if you follow this blueprint, you will get very good marks. Once again, need not write whatever I have explained. You should understand and you should write in your own words in a concise manner and crisp manner. Don't write lengthy paragraph. Don't write like stories. Always attack the question, the important issues, the major points raised in the question. Your writing style should be very concise, but it should contain the content. So this is how your answer writing should be. Thank you.